Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk a little bit about a comment that I got that, I like certain comments and pretty much most all of them, but certain ones just really let me know like I'm not talking to just like robots out there. There's another human being, another intelligent, thinking, conscious thinking person that's on the other side. And they're saying stuff that I'm also seeing in my world. And it's always fascinating. And this comment just really got me thinking about what it is that I've always been, I guess, in reality, talking about since day one, since I even made videos about anything else that I used to talk about. It comes down to the concept of one thing that I just know we are struggling with as a people today is, I could say money, but money in a way that we'll do crazy things to be able to get more and more of it. And the crazy things we do isn't actually helping out anyone. It's actually just destroying people. And it's just only benefiting that one that is getting the more and more of that said resource, the money that we have on this planet that we use. And this comment is fascinating that this is where I believe this is where for me again like dog training I see this in this little sliver of the realm, but I see this in everything, that everywhere, I mean everywhere I go I see exactly what it is that this person is talking about. I don't want to assume, but just this guy is talking about, I guess that's what you're Ryan, not, I don't know too many Ryan female whatever, but it says, if you go to a pharmacy or grocery store and you want to get a tube of toothpaste and you're confronted with a bewildering array of options, it can be frustrating until you realize the toothpaste doesn't really help keep your teeth clean. And that's something that I think is what goes on this planet and where we're struggling, because we're being sold something that it's going to be able to do this for you. I got to get to walking. That it's going to be able to do something for you, and we're being basically force fed sold just constantly. All the ads are being shoved at us. You need this, you need this, you need this, you need this, you absolutely have to have this. If you don't have this, you're not going to be able to live, you're not going to be able to succeed, you're not going to be able to function, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to die on this planet if you don't buy this. I mean, some of these ads go deep. And that's the ones in reality that get us to buy the fastest, is when it comes down to a life or death situation. And that's the part with dog training. It gets sticky for me because it gets to that life or death situation. It puts you in danger. And now you're in this, I have to, or else I'm not going to. And as simply as a thing of toothpaste is, someone might be like, oh, it's toothpaste. But toothpaste goes down to, in reality, a life or death situation. It goes to the point that the person is needing, oh, let me change this. I've been playing with some features on this camera. It's pretty fascinating what it can actually do that I don't use it, the whole uh, availability of it. But it's interesting that if you don't use a toothpaste, what's being force fed and shoved to every single person right now is your teeth are all going to rot and fall out and they're all going to die. Your teeth are, you're not going to have white teeth. Your teeth are going to start turning yellow. This was being force fed to us, said to us. For me personally, at the end of the day, I still don't 100% know if that's true or not, but I just use toothpaste because what I've done since I was a child. And in reality, that's another thing that I was talking about yesterday, is we just keep doing what it is that we're doing because it's what someone else showed us of how it is that we do things, without having a real good understanding of, is it actually benefiting you? Or is it just wasting your time and worst case scenario, actually making you worse? The ones that I have a big problem with today that I want to get more people to just start to open up and ask questions with your day to day that's going on is, what are the things that are in reality making you worse? Not making things better, not keeping it the same, but just flat out making your life worse. And there is so much of this going on out here today that's the pushback that I have to give, and I can't just ignore it and shut up and move on with my life and act like everything is great. When I'm seeing a lot of stuff out here, I'm going to say like mass majority of things that I see out here, it is like you're being force fed to buy it, buy or else, buy or else, and you're just in this, having to just keep going and going and going and going and going, and you're not finding any sort of like relief, because as soon as you buy it, it's like, oh, there's a there's a 2.0 edition now. The original edition is no good anymore. Now you need the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and nowadays we go deep. It's no longer just a 1 or 2 version. It's like a 1.1 now, a 1.12, a 1.3. And it's like you have to keep upgrading, upgrading, upgrading for yourself to be able to, like, for you to just be able to survive. And that's the part with me that it's just the huge shift that I had in my life was when I somehow figured out how to be able to get away from, I need stuff. I need to keep buying things to, if I buy this, it'll basically like make my life better. If I buy this, it'll make me better. If I buy this, it's going to make me better, not only just for me, but how other people are going to look and view and see me. And that's how I was like looking at this world. And the huge shift, like straight up, people, my number one way to fast track myself of getting out of this, I need these shoes to look away so someone will recognize me. I need this car so someone would like look at me. I need this shirt because of all of this stuff. I need this purse. I even had a fancy wallet for, I think it was like $200 for this wallet. It did feel really good though. And I did have it for like 10 years or more, but I had a fancy wallet to put my cards in. As today, I don't even use a wallet at all, which is interesting. I've gone the next 10 years of my life of not using any. And it's like I was just stuck in it. And the one way that I really was able to just get myself to get out of it the fastest is I stopped watching TV. I stopped watching TV. And then the next thing I've noticed was I stopped watching movies. I stopped paying attention to any TV shows. I stopped everything. And I noticed like something in my world was just like lightened. It was just so much simpler to live. Of course, there's all kinds of other stuff to be able to entertain yourself with. It's something my sister said, you probably watch videos on YouTube and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but most of it I'm going to say is an educational stance that, and that's just my life, how I view things. But there's entertainment even on YouTube that, and granted today, we're getting to hard push of ads and selling and selling and selling and selling and selling. But it's not the same type of selling from like a person like me to be able to do to you compared to the people that are just like, forcing all this, what it is that propaganda on you, that you have to have this, you have to have this, you need this, you need this, you need this. This is what force fed to me on how I need to have a nice, I already had nice dogs. I had nice dogs. I had really nice dogs. I maybe didn't do everything the correct way. I had a little extra anger behind me and I may have pulled the leash a little bit too hard here and there, but I had nice dogs that I wasn't doing that consistently over and over to. I just like literally snapped that leash, gave it you call it a leash pop, and the dog was done. My dogs were always off leash. I had a Staffordshire Terrier off leash. I don't care where I was, what was going on, who was around, who even tried to take my dog from me. I always had nice dogs. But what was force fed to me is you need dog training, because you're not going to be able to have your dog off leash if you don't have dog training. But then I was like looking at my dog like, but it's doing what I want. So clearly the pull is hard. The pull is hard because it forces you have to, or else. Your dog is going to bite you. Your dog is going to bite and kill somebody if you don't put this training on it. And this is just like a lot of things that go on. You're not going to make any friends if you don't dress and wear clothes like this. You're not going to be able to get a job if you don't do and be like this. You're not going to, because the job part is the weirdest part with me that I've been challenging, because there's a lot of people on this planet that have similar skin complexion as me that wear their hair a specific way, which my next transformation is, it's going to be into the dread form. Because someone said to me, if I had long hair as a brown or a black person, that no one would ever want to hire me. And I realized that is false. That is not real. It's a matter of who you are is how someone's going to want to listen to you. What you're saying, what you're able to actually do, what you're able to get done. That's when people are going to want to listen to you. It has nothing to do with what you look like. And it's just like we're being force fed all of this stuff all the time. If a guy has, for instance, dreads in his hair, he's a criminal. He's going to steal everything from you. He can't be trustworthy. He can't be, and it's just like we get force fed all this stuff all day long, and we don't even like second guess it anymore. We just, it is what it is. When we're looking at the world this way, we're going to be just constantly force fed and put into a small little box, and because in the beginning part of that comment, anyone go back and read it. It's a really fascinating thing, talking about the whole. We like to, as humans and pretty much all these other animals, we like to flock together for what we think is safety. When there's something scary going on, we're like, we all got to get together. And this is something that I believe is very interesting, of just being someone who my TV shows, I sit and I watch my animals. And I watch what the cows do, and I watch especially, I don't know what it is, but I've just been fascinated with these chickens ever since the first day I got them. And I see what they do. When they get nervous, they'll flock up, they'll band together. But you know what's also very interesting that I noticed, and I can go to, I don't want to mess with them right now, get the dogs all wild. But I might walk back there just to show, I don't know which ones are easy to show. But whatever, when they get nervous, this is the interesting thing that I'm going to say. Because I got a whole flock of babies, I got all ages, but I got a whole new flock of just babies. for me. And when I go in there, I make them scared. They all run away. And then they just stay hidden until they realize, okay, there's no threat. Then one or two come out, and then all the rest will come out like, oh, okay, nothing's wrong. Everything is all right here. But what starts to happen when they get older is things start to get interesting. So this is where I'll say the concept of the children. When the children, they all run away, they're scared. But when they start to become adults, you go in there and try to mess with for instance, the cows. And you mess with the girls, and you even try to mess with the bull for a little while. The bull's he's gonna give you pushback. This is where, just my experience, especially working with dogs, you need the right dog to be able to work with goats, some rams, and most of these bulls, because they're gonna give you pushback when you try to, say, get in their space, you try to invade in their stuff, you try to get in their territory. They're gonna get a little scared, they're gonna run. But once they realize they get a little safety, then they fight back. They fight back. They're gonna fight back to the point that you're gonna rethink life and rethink everything that's going on with you. And it's a very scary experience in reality. But that's something that I realized, like, what we as humans, we just are not doing anymore. Not saying that we need to fight back in the sense of actually like using weapons and hands and any foolishness like that. That's not really gonna get us anywhere. That's gonna make things keep getting worse. You fight back by coming up with a better strategy of how to be able to do what you need to do and get around what you need to get around with. You fight back by being able to say the right words and be able to vote the right way and being able to make sure that we're effectively doing and getting what it is that we want. We fight back. That's what all of these animals do. They'll run away at first, because even these, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see these guys. See these little guys, they're over here. They'll run away for a little bit, but at some point, they're gonna band together and they're gonna fight back. That's where things get sketchy. I mean, when I got my Dalmatian, she got a huge scratch on her face because a rooster fought back. When they get older, they fight, man. They're not just gonna run. They're not gonna run. But that's what's going on with us today, is we're just running away from everything. We're just accepting the fact of, oh, we're just defeated, and it just is what it is. And we can't be able to do anything because we're gonna get in trouble or something bad's gonna happen. But I just noticed that when we're listening to stuff that is just like foolishness, you have to, you need this, you need this, you need this. You can't survive without this. You're gonna die without this. You're gonna die without this. And you keep stacking more and more and more of that on. You keep buying more and more and more. All your resources, all your funds, all your money, all your everything is disappeared. It's gone. You have nothing. When you have nothing, you're in a very vulnerable stance. And when you're in that vulnerable stance, the next nothing is going to be able to just control you to the point that, what are we doing here? And we need to start understanding the little things that are being said and done to us that are just getting us in this, you have to or else. I just see this, I don't know why, but with just everything. And instead of us like banding and protecting ourselves, getting together and doing something about it, no, we just run away like baby children, like the baby chicks do, the baby children. The baby animals just, oh, we gotta run away. And I don't want to use the word savior there, but someone to be able to stand up and be there you go, the leader. But when they get older and they get wiser, they get more understanding of how this world works and how it functions, then they get to that stance that we're gonna fight. We're gonna do something about this. We're not just gonna allow you to just keep pushing us around like that. We're not gonna allow you to just keep doing this to me. And then, if, like this coop over here, for instance, you go from one rooster, I'll say, like, fails, the next one will come up, the next one will come up, the next one will come up. They'll just keep going and going. They'll keep challenging you. They won't stop. That's why for any of my dogs to go in here during like this specific coop right here, if any of my dogs tries to go into this coop right here, let me shut that off, change this, go down. If any of my, oh, I can't do that with this one now. You silly little thing. I gotta figure this camera out. It can do all kinds of fancy stuff that I've never done with it before. But here we go. If any dog tries to go into this coop right here with all these roosters in here, right now, they would be in danger. There's like, I think there's there should be 10. There's 10 roosters in here right now. If any single one of these dogs thinks about, I'm gonna go in there, that dog's gonna be rethinking life right now. The roosters are not just gonna, oh, you can come and chase us, move us around. If the baby chicks, heck yeah, they'll all just always run away. They'll always that's just what they do because they're not grown enough yet. But the older animals, they have no choice. They have to fight back. And they're gonna fight back in a stance that, there we go. Let's go back to my normal regular settings here. They're going to fight back because they're not going to want to just have to deal with what it is that is being force fed to them. They're going to actually like wisen up and say, no, I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore. I'm not going to let you do that. And that's what is unfortunate thing is what I see is what's challenging us as humans today, right now. That everything in your life, you're not in any sort of real world understanding anything that's going on in our lives right now. We're just in this stance of like absolute fearfulness. And that's why for me, it's easy to see how worse it's getting with these dogs. I could see the fearfulness in the animals, where the animals start to get to this point that they're just like, they're just trying to lash out at everything. And they don't even have like the backbone in them to even be able to follow through with what it is that they're doing. And they're doing it in this like last ditch of, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And they don't have any support system. They don't have anyone there with them. They don't have anyone to guide them. And that's just what I'm constant. That's why with me, when I see that, I'm like, I can see greater issues going on here. All of us are just sitting here watching these movies and these TV shows. Not all of us. I don't watch that crap. Everyone's watching these movies and these TV shows and all the news all day long and your emails all day long and all that stuff. You're just watching it. And all that's happening is just putting you more and more and more into this extreme level of fear. This level of fear that is extremely easy to get you to just jump and react and do. As much as I see a reactive dog, I see a human being that is 10 times more reactive. That is just on edge. Any little thing could just get you off, just jump you off, just get you scared, get you nervous, get you just thrown off from doing what it is that you're doing. And that's because of all this. The main stuff is the life or death. The life or death. You're gonna die if you don't take this. You're gonna die if you don't vote for this. You're not gonna be able to make it. Someone else is going to take everything from you if you don't. It's just to be force fed all day long. Force fed all day long. If we don't protect this, everyone's going to come over and they're going to just take everything from us. They're putting all of this fear behind us as if like there's not 100 million jobs in this country alone. Shoot, in my look, you need work, come here. Because there's like everyone's hiring, man. If you're in food service, you're in healthcare service, you're in anything, everything out here is like there's no one showing up to work. And it's not the matter of they just can't get people in. But they're telling you, oh, this is going to this, and that's going to this, and you're going to lose all your jobs, you're going to lose all of this, and you got to vote for this, and it's just like you're being in this mass level of manipulation that is just tragic. And for me, I started seeing that in the dogs with the stuff that we would do to them. I could see the manipulation going on. I could see like the weariness that's going down, where the dogs are like, oh, they're unsure. There's so many training methods that you're doing it, and I could see the dogs like, did I do okay? Is it all right? And they're so nervous. And that's where that one little thing could just make them explode. And you're like, oh, what's going on with that? That's why at the end of the day, someone I really watch a lot, that he's like, if you still have anger in you, if you have anger in you, that something or somebody can be able to just drive that out of you. And if they could just say a word to get you into anger, you're a murderer on this land. Because you had that same in you that you could just go out and lash out and do something crazy. Because why is it called? The whatever, murder of passion or whatever, where you just do that. It's not who you are, but because of something that happened, you end up doing that. And that's what's going wild to me today. That for me, while I'm looking at other properties a little further and further out, that you're not going to be able to find it where I'm at. But mainly just because that's what I can see in the human beings. That's what I see in like the unfortunate thing of being in the inner cities of sorry, I gotta move now. They're gonna nighttime. They gotta do their talking. Ophi, Oreo. I don't even know where Johnny's at right now. There he is. He always comes. He's such a good boy. But that's what I see is we're being force fed all of this, the stuff that's putting us into this absolute level of rage. And I could see that rage in a simple dog. A simple dog. I could see the rage. I could see the anger. And then what happens? We've seen it, and we're starting to hear about it more and more today about how these dogs are attacking people and attacking other dogs. The dog's willing to just go off and attack another dog. I'd be very suspicious and weary that dog would also do that to a human being. What to say that it wouldn't? If a human being is willing to just take all this rage and all this anger out onto a dog, wouldn't you think that they wouldn't be able to just easily do that to a human being? And this is what's kind of just going on, and it's just leading everyone in this high level of absolute mass chaos. That we're all in this, we got to fight, we got to battle, we got to bicker, we got to, if you don't believe what I believe, then you shouldn't even be able to be alive on this planet. I heard something super funny today about the whole concept of someone saying that, oh, you're a Trump supporter and there should be no reason that you should be a doctor. Your license should be taken because that's who you support. And it's like, that's how foolish we're getting as a people because of all this propaganda that's being, you're going to die if this, you're not going to live if this. And that's literally going on right now with two presidential things going on in this country. As soon as things get wild here, just watch how the rest of the world is just going, it's going to be a full circle because we're like, to me, it's like the first projects were inner cities, seeing how these guys are just just they go crazy. Oh, you talked about my mama and just shooting up the whole city. Oh, you talked about my daddy and just shooting up the whole. You talked about my baby mama and just shooting up the whole city. Just so quick to just enrage off of just hearing one little word. One word just gets the person. Oh no, no, they just wow. One word. Oh my goodness, and that's where we're at today. It started with inner city work, and now it's to the point that it's in my area. That's I can't even be on none of my local social media stuff around here. It's so hostile, man. It's so hostile. Somebody, like, granted, it's a little messed up, but if you didn't pick the poop up from someone's yard, they're ready to, like, I'm about to do that again. I'm gonna come out there with my gun. And I'm like, you're gonna have your gun in your hand or someone because they didn't do that. Like, that's we're just quick to just foolishness because we're just in this life or death and we're not paying attention to the actual things that are going on around us. And then again, when you strap for money, you end up doing some very, very evil, malicious things. And especially when you're strapped for money and you want to portray it that that person over there is the reason why. Now anyone that doesn't agree with what you agree with, you're on that. Now I don't want nothing to do. Yo, you're doing good because your peoples are in office, and I'm doing bad because your peoples is this, and I can't stand you because that's who you are. And this is just what's going on to me. I'm sorry. When I see it and I hear it and I put myself in it to just learn more to see where I'm about to be living in the future, is it's so childish. It's so childish. It's just the little kid syndrome that's just going on when I'm seeing like 70-year-old people talk like they're 5 years old, 6 years, 8 years old. And it's like, why are we just keeping ourselves in this? And we're keeping ourselves in it. Why? Because it's almost like everything is set up from elementary school and beyond. I don't know if they do it in preschool yet or not, but probably are trying to work on that. It's set up on, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to buy. This is how you have to look. This is how you need to be. It's just set up all the way through. All the way through to everything that we do. It's set up like that. As soon as you go into kindergarten, oh, if you're good, you get a gold star. And you're bad, you don't get a star. Everything is set up like that. You're good, you get a reward. If you're bad, you get punished. And it's just how we're living in our world. And what that creates is something that just doesn't grow up. It just stays like this. It stays small. It doesn't able to be able to freely think, freely go, freely do. It just stays in this small little bubble that can be easy manipulated and easy controlled because you're not able to actually like decide for yourself. Is this that? Do I actually even care to want the gold star? I don't even want it today, teacher. Like, just give it to someone else. I don't even care for it. You didn't even get that option. They're not gonna give you that option. But with everything that we got going, hold on. I gotta be able to see the dogs. Okay, we're good. Border Collie's not as obsessive about the Dalmatian or the Pyrenees. It's the Shepherd, man. That dude is like, you ain't got to come all the way. Good girl though. I appreciate you. But, he is obsessed over this girl, and it's I don't know what it is. I'll be fascinated to know. Unfortunately, Johnny, he was already cut before I got him. I wish that he wasn't, to see like the differences here. But each dog is really different with her. She's like the prize right now. I'm just a second. That's why when I call her, everybody comes right now because she is the prize. It's just an interesting thing to see. And in reality, when I just see this stuff, I see the realness of all the animals and everything that goes on. I just start to like see the like little things that we are as a human species. We may not call ourselves a dog. We may not call ourselves a pig, a goat, a donkey, or whatever. But it's like even trees, man. We as humans, just it's weird that I look at it. It seems like we're a collective of it all. They all do things that we do as people. We could just sit and study, watch the animals, and see people do the exact same stuff. It's just a fascinating thing to just really just stumble upon in my life to be able to see. And I only was able to get to this point to be able to see it is when I shut the dang TV off. I shut all my anything off, movies off, TV shows off. I shut it all off, and I started going outside to see what's going on out here. What is this world? What is this? And that's where I started to realize just the mass levels of chaos that I wasn't. I've got videos of myself before when I was talking and saying, on how Oreo, come here. On how I just recognize and realize in my own self, I was like, man, I feel so childish. I feel like a kid that hasn't grown up. I'm like 35 years old, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, why am I like quick to anger and mad and I don't know. It was just weird. It was like, why am I such a child? And I looked at myself because I used to journal and write all day just to study and like what I'm doing. I'd read it back later and be like, dude, you sound like a 5-year-old boy complaining right now. Like, what's going on with that? And I started to realize that things in my world, I was just being told this is what you have to look like to be able to this. This is how you have to be able to this. This is everything. I mean everything. Not that I'm a person to say, oh, well, let's just fight back at it. No, there's rules, there's laws, there's regulations, there's stuff to keep us safe as a people. But in reality, what's going on today? We're doing everything in our power to destroy all of that so that we're no longer going to be able to be in this so-called safe place that we're supposed to be in. It's only going to just continue to keep on just going down and down and down because we're in this life or death. If you don't vote for this person, you're going to die. That's literally what's going on right now. If you don't, Ophi, I really think that this dog is slight off on her hearing. It's supposed to be a thing in a lot of Dalmatians, but she's really good when she's like 20 feet from me. She responds, but if she's like she's far right now. Ophi, there you go. Come here. See, I had to get louder, and then she definitely heard. I could see she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" But anything closer, I have to get louder. I don't think she can hear like the best of the best at a good distance. And I got a little frustrated with this dang dog like a couple months ago because I was like trying to call her back. She's way at the front trying to call her, and I'm like thinking like, I don't think she can actually hear me. I don't think she can hear anything that's going on with me. She's just living in La La Land like everything is great. And it's just, I was just like, you're not listening to me. And it's like, yeah, because you can't hear me. And that's, oh my goodness, just everything that I see and interact and get into the middle of while I'm out here doing what I'm doing, I just like see more and more of everything that just is like real, is real life. I'm like, she's not listening to me. And I'm like, why? Because she can't hear me. And I'm sitting here like questioning what we as a human being are doing out here. Why aren't we listening and paying attention to even just the one thing that I really want people to understand is pay attention, listen to yourself and understand yourself. And you can't listen to yourself because you can't even hear yourself. You're so drowned in everything else, all these shiny noises and sights and all this stuff. You can't even hear yourself. You can't listen to the main thing that you need to be listening to. Your main level of intuition, you can't pay attention to because you're focused everywhere else. And when you're focused everywhere else, you're going to get drawn in to do something that you may not want to do. And you may want to do it, but you're going to have a sense of guilt and whatever in the end with it, because that's just what happens. Because it's an interesting thing with these dogs, because she's just chasing chicken. And I just don't let her. She's much better. I don't want her to even frighten them anymore. I don't care that we're just upgrading our experience out here. I want her to just always be around. Even when you're walking, if you're staring away, it gets the chicken frightened. I don't even want them to frighten them anymore. I want them to just, we're in peace and harmony all the time. My expectations are just very high. It is what it is, but I know that we can do it. But it's when they go and if they actually do kill something, they don't even eat it because it's like this, I don't know, it's a very strange thing. I have to do all of that for them and give it to them. They just won't eat it. And because it's almost like, I don't want to say guilt, but something comes on. It's like you did it because you weren't listening to yourself. You follow through with doing what it is that you're doing, that basically something on the outside world was influencing you to do. And when you finally do it, you look back and reflect like, man, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And then you just can't come back anymore from it because it's already finished. It's already done. And that's what I want more people to really understand is we're got all this stuff that's buzzing at us, making us like, look at here, look at here, look at here, look at here, listen to here, listen here, listen here, listen here, as opposed to listen to yourself, you, who you are. Who are you? That's a huge question I had asked myself years ago. Who am I? Who am I? What do I like? What do I want to do? What do I care for? When I shut everything off and I just had to sit and stay in a room by myself, who am I? What do I want to do? But a lot of us, we're running away from that because we don't know the first steps of what to even do with that. You got to run away because you'll go absolutely insane at first. Just shut all the movies off and TV off. People think you'll be struggling because you can't get like drugs or alcohol or stuff like that, but let someone not be able to have their phone. I just see so much going to this gym place doing running that is just fascinating to me. It's just like a a huge social experiment going inside of these places. Because like people can't even run, can't even get on a machine, can't even lift a weight, lifting weights with the phone like this and switching. I'm like, you can't go 10 seconds without the phone in your face. So there's no way that you know who you are. You not have that phone. Oh my goodness, there will be. I don't want to say that, but I'm just gonna say it straight up. We're gonna have like mass chaos on this planet if simply the phones just shut off. If the phone went away, there'd be mass absolute chaos. I don't need to worry. We don't need to worry about food. We don't need to worry about nothing. Just shut the phone off and give the people free food, and there'll be mass chaos. Mass chaos. People just wouldn't know what to do at all, especially about 30, 40 and below. No, I don't want to say 40 so much, but about 30 and below. Be no idea what to do, no idea what to make happen. And that's, well, to say by design, that if you don't have this, you don't have your phone, you're gonna die. Like seriously, that's what's going on today. If you don't have this, you don't have your safety, you don't have your backup, you're gonna die. If you don't do this, you don't speak about it this way, you don't do it like this, you're gonna die. That's just force fed with everything that we got going on today. And it's not bad enough to just, you're not going to fit in. No, it's like going towards a life or death scenario now with pretty much everything that we do. Everything that we do. If you don't take so I don't know why I thought about this, but it's something to me that is just strange. It's just strange. I get y'all ladies do what y'all do, but if you don't get these lip injections, you're gonna die because no guy's gonna want to talk to you, and you're just not gonna have no protection in life, and you're just gonna die. And it's like that's literally what's like force fed to us. If you don't do this and you don't keep up, you're gonna die. And it's like, no, that is just not true at all. What is true is figuring out who you are, what you like, what you desire. Stop worrying about what someone's recommendation is for you. What is it that you like? That's a huge issue. That's why I don't know what it is, but the way I live is very strange because my feed, my advertisement, they don't know what to give to me. They don't know what to sell to me. I mean, some days I get advertisers for, I don't even want to say all the weird stuff that comes to me. They have no idea who I am. They have no idea what I am. And that's why they're getting this recommended. You may like this. And you click on it, you're like, what the heck? Like, that's not for me. But most of y'all, your phones, they're feeding, looping you in to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in. And then they're telling you this is who you are. You no longer know who you are. You literally could click on one video and you're like, oh, I like that. And then it gives you that recommendation, like, I like that. And you just keep going and going and going to the point that you no longer understand and know what it is that you actually like, you enjoy. You just start watching other people's videos, other people's stuff, and start thinking, I like this too. That's what I like to do. They're having fun. I want to do that. Literally, one video can just trickle you into that situation. It's mine on my YouTube. I get recommendation to everyone right here. I'll recommend you something that's actually going to be able to help you. Go on every single one of your videos and hit do not recommend again. Do not recommend. And just go all the way down and refresh and get some new stuff in. When you get that new stuff in, see, is that stuff that you actually do like as well? There's new random things, or you just being force fed to think and be away because it's just giving you the same stuff over and over and over again. It's stuff that is just challenging us. It's challenging us as a people. And I'm starting to just see it. It's just like I never really paid much attention, but now going to this gym thing that I've been doing the past couple of weeks, it lets me see like the reality of like we struggling as a people, and we're struggling, and I just seeing people that you don't know who you are. You don't know what you like. You don't know anything about yourself. And you're just taking someone else's recommendation on this is who you are, this is what you're about, this is what you should be, as opposed to just being you and what you are, what you like, what you desire. And that's I don't know why, but that's the number one thing that I see is just damaging us. That's how for me, I could easily get into needing to train my dog because someone said I didn't know who I was. Even though I had the dogs, I had the results already of what like 100% of people are looking for from their dogs. I already had the results. But I got into that thinking I needed more because I don't know who I am. And I didn't know who I was, what I was capable of, what I was actually doing, what's going down, I didn't know. And since I didn't know, it was easy for me someone to just say, sell me this. Oh, okay, sell me that course. Sell me this item. Sell me this tool to put on the dog. Okay, sell me the next thing to be able to keep going. Keep selling me all these things to keep making my stuff look better. And since I didn't know who I was, I just keep going further. Even though I'm not seeing results and actually seeing things get worse, I'm still not knowing who I am, still not trusting in myself, and just keep going further and further and further into it. And that's where the cycle of pretty much everything out here is going right now. We're going further and further and further. We're getting worse and worse and worse and we're accepting the worst because we don't know who we are. We don't think that we're capable of being able to do anything on our own. We need these. We need that person. We need this person. We need this. We need. When in reality, to be able to live a pretty decent life on this planet, you don't need much of anyone. You can just get up and do some stuff and just go off of what you have it in you that you know you need to do. But today, it's almost impossible with what we got going on. Because even for me, I can't do everything I can and get away from the phone and 100% and just be completely out and completely gone from it. That just it's almost impossible thing to do today. And to me personally, it's set up to be that way. And that's what I'm doing my best to try to figure out how to get out of. But I've just come to realize that since I've already been on the outskirts, it's easier for me to see like what's actually going on. That we're being sold. I say life or death, and it's reward and punishment. You reward it, you live. You punishment, you die. And that's what's being force fed to us all day long. Coming down to getting your car fixed, coming down to getting your house fixed, coming down to getting your own self fixed, going to the doctor yourself, doing everything on our planet right now is set up like that. Oh, you got to fix these brakes. Your brakes aren't going to work. Your car's not going to stop. You're probably going to die. Not getting a car accident, none of that, but something very bad is going to happen. You know, you got this problem with your AC. You know, it's going to get hot. And if you don't have AC and you don't pay this extra stuff that you actually don't need, that we created, messed up ourselves, you're going to die heat stroke in the house. You're going to die. You're not going to make it. Like, that's how everything is working. Not everything, but most everything out here is working right now. And that's what I want people to just start to really ask those questions of, why do I actually need this? It's a hard question to ask service people. Go to the car dealer, ship place, repair place, when you have to get something repaired, and they say to you, you got to this, and this, and say, okay, why do I need this? And see what they say. I'm telling you, just see what they say. Oh, I got to do this too? Why do I need to do that? And see what they do. They're going to like stumble and fumble. They're not going to exactly know what to do. Unless, well, I'll say, someone that's real honest, they're going to get it out. This is what you need. This is why you need it. This is what's going to happen if you don't do it. And if you don't do it here now, you know, you'll have some time, but this may happen. This may happen. That's a logically thinking person is actually trying to help you. But if they're just trying to get stuff from you, they're going to, I don't know, it's just because it's broken right now. They're not going to know because all they're caring about is getting for themselves. And that's the unfortunate thing that's what I'm going to have to continue to keep talking about is people out here that just want to get for themselves. Thank you. This dog's so funny. I've been doing a nighttime play with the dogs now instead of during the day. And I noticed a huge like benefit. Oh my goodness, huge benefit. Like, because I think it's the sleep value that he's sitting here now. Where is he? Let me turn this thing. I don't know if you can see him or not. Let me just turn the camera around. But I keep the little flirt pole thing right here on this little, I don't know if you can see right there. And he's like waiting for it. So I like playing with them at night. It gets them tired. Like, they get tired. And then at night they sleep. They sleep they sleep. They're like, they are asleep. They sleeping at night. And they get like, I guess I could say it's just they get better rest. And that better rest makes them be more calm and relaxed when they're able to get like all the rest and the exercise. It's just like it's a cure to the dogs to get them to stop being anxious and nervous and worried or anything. I've noticed a huge difference across the board with all my dogs by playing with them at nighttime. And I work them like I work them during the day, like real hard. I work them real. That's why a lot of people I've seen, the dogs get the zoomies and running and chasing and going in the house. Man, take advantage of that if your dog does that. You will sacrifice your time right there because more likely you're tired. You got back from work. You just ate. Whatever. I get you. But sacrifice some time in that moment that your dog gets that and play with them and watch how your dog is going to look at you like you are the world's greatest thing. Because no longer does the dog need to do it on its own. It knows now that you are willing to help them get that energy out. And it will be a bonding experience like no other. And because the dogs, they got to get it out at some point during the day. And then they get it out, they play a game with you, they do something, they go to sleep, man. They sleep. They're going to sleep all night. Then they're going to be just passed out. Then they're going to wake up a little refreshed. You go to work, they're going to go to sleep again. They're going to be passed out all day. And then you get back and you're going to see a dog. I don't know why. Certain little things I've been changing up and experimenting and just seeing like what's going on. And I just notice a huge difference in my dogs. Johnny, I know. Actually, I don't want that one sitting there at night. So you're helping me a little bit. It's just one thing that I'll always, people always talking about, I got the best this, the best that, I'm the best dog trainer. I just love to see anyone do the simple things that I just do out here in reality. The simple things that a normal, everyday farmer does with their animals. I would like to see the experts do that. It's just fascinating to me. I love to see the experts just do a simple, basic farming person's type stuff working with animals. How their animals, their dogs are working with in tune with them, getting stuff done. And they're not the expert, you know, they're just a farming person, take care of doing what they're doing. But yet they have stuff that everyone on the planet wants, as far as like the dog. They want that. They want a dog to just be chill. As much as this dog here is like, how do I shut this thing off? There you go. As much as everyone wants a dog to just be able to sit and chill, he's sit and chill knowing that we're about to play, and he'll be so respectful to me, but just knowing that I'm not just gonna go. He takes it here and there, but even if he does, he just puts it on the floor. He doesn't do anything with it. He's so respectful, and that's what like 100% of people are looking for from your dogs. But yet the dog training stuff just doesn't give me that. It just didn't give me this. It gives you a dog that's on edge, and it's fascinating to me on when you just get away from what's being forced to you have to ask why do I need to do that if I'm already getting and having what I'm looking for. Why are you saying that that's going to make it better? And when you see things get worse, why are we double downing into it, continuing to keep getting worse? It's confusing to me.